Hello, my name is Enrique, and now I'm doing my video reflection 2. This is for my individual project, number 2 as well. And my subtopic that I'll be talking about on how popular culture has affected my community is food. Now, I love food. I really do. I eat too much. I have gotten a little out of shape. But I think that comes from the way my mom used to make food. Whenever I think of food, before just the idea of food, I think of my mom's cooking, right? And my mom was Mexican, so she would cook Mexican food. My local community is primarily Mexican, which means most of the food in the area is Mexican food, whether it be Sonoran hot dogs, tacos, burros, carne asada, whatever it is, it's all around us. It's all around me and my local community, and that's what I love about it. I think something that I've seen popular culture wise, based off of the definition that we study in class, is the separation of types of food that is sold on the south side of Tucson and the type of food that is sold on the north side of Tucson and east side of Tucson. I've noticed huge distinctions. If you go up north, you have Fleming's, or you have Churrasco's, whatever it is. You have fancy premier steakhouses that are more high end, cost a lot more. But on the south side of Tucson, you have a lot of uh, mom and pop shops, or a lot of food places that sell food that represents the community around them. And I think I love that, right? I love the idea of how food represents the culture of the community around, and that's something that's affected me, right? People ask me all the time, "What's your favorite food?" And I'll say Mexican food is my favorite food, not because because I grew up with it. That's not the main reason, but truly, I think it's because of how it shaped me, right? Um, like I said, whenever I think of food, I think back to my mom's cooking, and her food is a representation of her mother's food, and my grandmother, right? And my grandmother's food is a representation of my great grandmother, and so on and so forth, all the way past generations and generations. And now I am the one cooking, but it's not as good. Either way, I think understanding the purpose of food, and the place it holds in each of our lives, whether we realize it or we don't, is crucial, right? On the daily, we all eat, and when we begin to realize what we're eating and why we're eating it, it really shows the importance of culture, right? That tradition that we do without knowing. And that's something that food brings for me. Understanding why I'm eating this food and why it's made this way, and what is the reason tamales are made the way they are, or what is the reason we decided to grill the meat instead of, you know, put it in the oven. And it's just like understanding that is is important, right? To understand my culture, to understand where I'm coming from, where my ancestors were from, and why they did what they did, and just understanding how food separates us, but also how food can bring us together, and how it shapes the unity that we can have, right? When we think about popular culture, we've talked about it as uh, the separation of social groups, almost, if you will, and understanding that food. I'm not saying food is the ultimate gap in that bridge, or the ultimate uni- unifier, but it is a way for us to get there. And I think the south side of Tucson has a beautiful culture, and like I said, one of the biggest things that they have is the food that they make on the south side of Tucson, and it's beautiful. Right, I go down there and there's a Sonoran hot dog cart on the side of the street. Someone selling tacos somewhere, right? And there's never a lack of food. Um, there's a saying in Spanish that I would hear a lot growing up: uh, "Panza llena, corazón alegre." And it's true, right? Full stomach, happy heart. That's the beauty of food, right? It takes away our anger sometimes, and it brings love, peace, right? Everyone, doesn't matter who you are, can look back and think of somebody's cooking, whether it was our mother's cooking or our father's cooking or our grandmother's cooking, whoever it is. Food was a way to our heart at one point as a little kid when we hurt our knee and our mom would make our favorite meal, right? That's what it was, right? And that's what food can be. Like I said, it's not the ultimate unifier, but I think it's a great place to start.